Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to show you how to create a product fairly quickly and at the same time make a recipe for an item, say a mixed drink. And then we're going to show you how you can use that recipe once it's created for more or less bartenders and servers that might want to have that information at their fingertips. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to the setups. And we're going to look to make sure that we know how to make a product. So let's just come over here and we're going to choose Sambuca Black. And with Sambuca Black, you'll see down here, there's no products linked. So to create it, we click on Link Product. We could do a search here, but we know that it's not in there. But if you did want to do a search, you could start to do something like this where you type in Sambuca and you see that there's nothing there, right? So we're going to hit Create Product. We're going to leave one-to-one in place and we're going to hit Create Link. Then we're going to hit the X and you'll see right now it just says Create Product. It doesn't have a name. It creates that name on the fly from this up here. So anyway, with that we hit Save, and now we don't need to save, but I make a habit of saving everything. And at this point here, I'm going to leave and I'm going to show you one of the things that we do here is we have that product now and it should be all the way at the bottom, Sambuca Black, right? You'll see that there's only a button linked to it over here. This will tell you the story of everything that goes on once it's a product, wherever it's used. And at that point there, you can more or less use that as an ingredient in a drink. So now we're going to go to the setups and other setups. And here there's a button product link. Okay. So what we're going to do is first tell you that on the left-hand side are the buttons that are in your system. And on the right-hand side are the products that are in your system that are available to be used for recipes. And if it's a product, it can be used for a recipe. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to select an item, say like an Alabama Slammer. Now you see that there's already an item there associated with it for inventory purposes. It's called Alabama Slammer. But from this point here, now we want to add the items that go along with it. For instance, the amaretto. So right here on the right-hand side, we see amaretto, and we put in the portion that we want to make right here. Now, it just so happens that we're going to use 1 ounce of amaretto, so we're going to leave that there, right? And then we're going to go down on this list. It's alphabetical, down to the S's because conveniently we have Slow Gin, right? And we also have the Southern Comfort. So if we were to come down here and look, there's the Southern Comfort. We're going to use 1 ounce of that. So no need to edit this. If we did want to edit this and say, oh, we're going to make this 1.125, we could do that, right? And I'll let that in there just for the sake of seeing it. And then the next one we use is Slow Gin, which is also 1 ounce. And from here, we're going to go back up to orange juice. And here we use 2 ounces of that. Okay, so this is basically the things that are inventoried. Not every place inventories orange juice, but if you do, that's fine. Now, I want to draw your attention to this part right here. This is recipe, insert the ingredients. So we come down here and we insert it. We're going to leave the Alabama Slammer up top because that's going to be the name of it. And then we're just going to retype what we want because you might not have a need for decimal points when you're trying to do this on the front end, but we're going to just do it this way. And then you're also going to see that this is technically linked, but not linked in the way you would think, because now what we can do is we can say tall glass. We can say 3 ice cubes and orange wheel. And cherry garnish. And now we have something that's going to be used on the front end for, say, a bartender or a server that might not know how to make this. So to save this, believe it or not, all we have to do is click on another item. When we come back, now you'll see that Alabama Slammer is orange. When we come back, you see that everything's saved. Now, if we want to see how that's used on the front end, we can come over and create a tab, and we can come down and we can say, I want to go to the mixed drinks and I want to see the Alabama Slammer, right? Now, technically right now, the ingredient list has not updated. So what I'm doing now is I'm logging in again, and this is where we edit. So I come over here and you'll see now that when we come here, the Alabama Slammer has a little green dot in it. If we tap the Alabama Slammer, it adds the Alabama Slammer to the cart. If we hold our finger down and swipe, what we see is the part where we added not only the actual amounts that we want to put in, but the extras: tall glass, ice cubes, orange wheel, and garnish. Now we can also print this out, which you just heard. We can come down and check these off if we got all the time in the world, or we can just add it to the bill and look at the printout. And from there, you have basically made an Alabama Slammer that keeps track of every bit of liquor and non-alcoholic beverages used to make it. And it should keep your inventory straight. And that's probably the biggest thing that you want with a bar at times. But thanks for joining us today, and look for more of these lessons soon on definitivesynergy.com.